Yeah, going live.
Ooh, a chinchilla.
What?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Fucking thing sucks!
We should add that to the beginning of the show. Do it live. Fuck it. So Brandy had to go rescue a baby rabbit last night in the middle of the night. Heard it squealing. She had to run out there and keep her cats from killing it. They'd get away with murdering those things a lot more if the rabbits didn't squeal like they do.
Rabbits squeal.
Why? Yeah, when they're being traumatized before they go into shock, they start squealing really loud.
Ooh.
It is very alarming. And if they either didn't scream so much, or if the cats were quicker about it, then we wouldn't rush out there to stop them. But otherwise, you're going to listen to it for 10 or 15 minutes, and that's just, yeah, it's terrible. I have not looked back at the notes yet. I'm just waiting until the beginning of the show. So if you screwed me, I won't know it until I start reading.
Excuses.
I don't believe you.
I'm looking at pictures on Reddit right now. Because that's important. In fact, it was pictures of cats there for a second.
Yeah.
The internet is for porn and cats.
So, there I was. So yeah, I'm driving to last weekend driving to meet Brandy's family. We stopped in Detroit to meet with Mike Bowler and park at a gas station. Get ready to leave, and my car won't start. It was terrible. It was very traumatizing. Thankfully,
Yes, Mike was very really delighted in your misery.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I got photos.
I'm going to sneeze. Hang on.
Hello.
Fuck you. Excuse me.
Hey, Brandy.
And no one had jump cables.
All right, now that Brandy's here, we can get the show on easy.
Well, he has jumper cables now, let's just say.
He did say.
Oh, really? Why is that?
That's right.
I got him
me some jumper cables.
Because I said you need a jump, and it would help.
Jumper cables on a go-kart battery.
On a corroded go-kart battery, nonetheless, and some chore. I said, I've never seen anybody use chore like that before.
All right, I am recording right now.
Sweet. Okay. Everyone ready?
Recording power activate.
Actually, I turned my headset down for a second. I was like, where'd everybody go?
All right. So, on the count of 5, I'm going to say Illuminati, and then everybody say it with me. Okay, we're gonna sync up. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Illuminati.
5.
Illuminati.
God damn it, John.
I said it twice.
This had to be an outlier. Come on.
Well, he usually does it on 3. Damn it. All right, so welcome to the Irreverent Skeptics podcast. I'm your host, Brandy Madison.
Hi, everybody.
Joining me today are Mike Bowler,
Hello.
Erno,
I'm here.
John Omby,
Hey,
and Michael McElroy.
because why not?
You forgot somebody there, buddy.
Did I?
Dumbass!
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. And Dumbass is here. I can't read.
It's already gone off the rails. I can't believe we never get the
This
intro.
show's already gone to shit. So
Let's
it's
take it
only
from the top.
Takes the pressure off.
Oh, should we? No, this is good. This is all right. It's a
Oh,
clusterfuck.
God.
It's good.
I need no
Professionals.
introduction.
That's right.
Yeah, you're.
That's
super
true.
famous.
That's true.
If you didn't already know Dumbass was here, just turn it off now. Anyway, so the rich and famous often lead lives of intrigue, full of mystery and scandal. Some people are convinced that much more is going on than appears at first glance. Was Princess Diana the new Virgin Mary of the religion of the New World Order?
What?
Is Paul McCartney dead? Is
No.
Oprah listening to our private conversations through our Mercury amalgam fillings?
I hope so.
We'll find out the truth, or at least what they want us to believe.
I'm
This is
not
gonna
worried
be-
under the assumption that Oprah Winfrey knows everything that I say.
I'm glad I'm not doing these first two stories because I don't think I'd make it through it coherently.
Every podcast I do it for Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
We
sure.
love you, O.
That is awesome.
I like her mostly because she was friends with Maya Angelou, and I just love Maya Angelou.
I am Maya Angelou.
Oh, she's wonderful. She's the closest thing to sacred for me. I love her.
All right, so our first celebrity conspiracy here is one I discovered years ago, which I just thought was one of the most fantastic things I'd ever read. It's
Are you not going to read the title of that?
I'm going to read the whole thing. The whole thing. The title is always in all caps. Whoever controls Princess Diana controls the world.
And Arrakis.
And the Duchess must flow. Yes.
Just what's
Fantastic.
So
Your princess is in another castle.
oh man.
And it happens to be Arabic
Bring
shaped.
me with the joke. Well
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
So here is the story, and do your best to contain your laughter till the end. Princess Diana and her soon-to-be husband Dodi Fayed were fatally injured in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in Paris, France. The site is actually ancient, dating back to the time of the Merovingian kings, which were about 500 to 751 AD and before. In pre-Christian times, the Pont de l'Alma was a pagan sacrificial site, and in the pagan connotation, at least, sacrifice is not to be confused with murder. I guess the victim had to be a willing participant. In the time of the Merovingian kings, Pont de l'Alma was an underground chamber. The founder of the Merovingian dynasty was Meravius, who was said to be descended from the union of a sea creature and a French queen. Meravius.
Wait, what? Is
Yes.
this a sea creature? Okay.
This is actually a real legend I found somewhere. There was some sea creature named Meravius who was the pagans in France, the early Franks worshipped.
So these are like Nessie's ancestors. Okay, gotcha.
So they're all willing sacrifices. How does it work out? Like, hey, we were thinking about sacrificing this weekend. Yeah, I ain't got nothing else going on. Yeah, why not?
I'm safe. I'm not a virgin. They're never gonna ask me. It's good.
So Meravius followed the pagan cult of Diana. Ooh.
Ooh.
In Middle English, soul was the word alma, and it has an etymology meaning descended from the sea. And pont has a Latin root pontifex, meaning a Roman high priest. Okay. Alma comes from the Latin almus. I thought we were just talking about Middle English, which means nourishing. One translation of Pont de l'Alma would be the bridge of the soul. Another would be the passage of nourishment. All true European royalty is descended from the Merovingians, which are believed to be descendants of Jesus Christ and a sea monster, apparently.
Wait, the Merovingians were believed to be descendants of Jesus Christ?
Yes, that was there's a book called what is it? Holy Grail, Holy Blood, I think.
Holy blood, holy.
Holy
Oh
Blood.
yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't read it.
That it's
Oh.
all about how Jesus survived the crucifixion and had children, and they were the descendants who went on to found all the royal families of Britain or Europe or whatever.
And
But
it's what Dan Brown supposedly ripped off.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. During the Merovingian era, if two kings had a dispute over property, it was settled in combat at Pont de l'Alma. According to legend, anyone killed there goes straight to heaven and sits at the right hand of God, watching over all his foes was to do. The person killed
Talk
in
about
combat...
easy access.
What? Talk about what?
Easy access to heaven.
Okay. The person killed in combat was actually considered to be the winner since he became God's eyes on Earth and could even manipulate events.
What?
The current British royal family are imposters. The House of Windsor is a fraud. But the lineage of Lady Diana Spencer goes back to Charles II of the House of Stuart. The House of Stuart is of true royal blood. Diana's sons, William and Harry, have 3/4 true nobility in their blood. Nobility being derived from the line of Jesus, obviously. So
Well, they got that going for them.
Princess Diana was in a powerful position. Two main factions vied for control over her. First,
Is
the
that a
New World Order
euphemism?
faction.
Powerful position. Was she
She was
always?
a dom.
They often put that in the page 3 or whatever that was, page 6.
The page
Her in a
5
powerful
girl.
position. Yeah, the obscene, dirty things they used to post about her.
She's definitely a dom. But so the first faction was the New World Order faction, founded on an alliance between King William III, who founded the Bank of England and the modern system of finance and national debt during his reign, and the Rothschilds. And the other faction was the true nobility of Europe. Within the New World Order faction, there are smaller warring factions, exemplified by the Rothschilds versus the Rockefellers. The plan of the New World Order faction was to marry Lady Diana to an American. Even though Bill Clinton has bastard roots in the Rockefeller clan, he's rejected by them and aligned with the Rothschilds. Clinton was the designated future husband for Lady Diana, with Hillary Clinton to be eliminated through divorce or even murder. The Rockefellers were furious. In no way would they allow a marriage between Bill Clinton and Lady Diana. In Great Britain, Prince William would be on the throne by age 25. If Charles did not abdicate, he would be assassinated. Then Prince Harry and the living Lady Diana would have moved to the U.S. Harry would become a U.S. citizen and go into politics, perhaps becoming a U.S. senator. By then, whoever controlled the two boys, Prince William and Prince Harry, would control the world. Yeah, the masters of the universe.
Man, this sounds like a kick-ass novel.
It sounds like that thing they're talking about in So I Married an Axiomer. The Queen, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, the Colonel before he went tats up.
But in her last visit to the White House, circa January 1987, Lady Diana informed Mr. Bill Clinton, it says, Mr. Bill,
Mr. Bill.
"Oh no, they're going to be mean to me,"
Oh no!
that in no way, shape, or form would she ever marry him. While in America, she apparently also met John Kennedy Jr., which is irrelevant to the story. Diana chose instead to marry for love. Dodi Fayed, beloved of Lady Diana, is a cousin of Adnan Khashoggi, a CIA asset involved in sales of arms to Iran. He and Oliver North. Adnan Khashoggi was is part of the Saudi royal family. Through marrying Dodi Fayed, Diana would have been marrying into the Saudi royal family. She might have had to convert to Islam. British intelligence, MI6, arranged the deaths of Lady Diana and Dodi Fayed. It was imperative that the Saudi royal family not have control over Diana. The driver of the ill-fated Mercedes was a Manchurian candidate, a brainwashed tool with connections to the French military. How did so much alcohol get into his system?
He's British. I'm
You
sorry,
drink.
what?
You just drink. Amounts suggested in mass media reports are truly staggering. So much alcohol that the driver would have had to be carried to the car. Well, it kind of explains why he crashed. The way it happened was, the driver was made to swallow special slowly digesting balloons containing high-potency alcohol. While he drove, the balloons were slowly digested and he became dangerous behind the wheel. But even within British intelligence there were factions. A rogue faction in MI6, powerless to prevent the assassination, arranged for the deaths of Lady Diana and Dodi Fayed to happen at the Pont de l'Alma. Clearly it was known that a death at that historic location would not only send a signal, it would eventually lead to the creation of a Saint Diana. In Roman paganism, Diana is the Queen of Heaven, a triple goddess, whatever that means. Alma in Mideast language means moon goddess, so apparently we have Alma in Middle English, in Latin, and in Mideast language, which is unspecified.
Or none of that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It means none of those, yes. One aspect of the Roman triple goddess is the lunar virgin. The Almas, the virgins, moon goddesses, served as maidens of Diana, the lunar virgin. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about now. In France, the cult of Diana...
So for some reason, the goddess Diana is linked to the person Diana?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Gnostic, pagan, mysticism, bullshit. Anyway, so in France, the cult of Diana was so powerful...
They both have the same name. Can that be coincidence?
I think
I
not.
think not.
I think not.
Yeah. So, in France, the cult of Diana was so powerful that it wasn't until the Middle Ages until the French gave up worship of the pagan goddess. The true Knights Templar, suddenly they're in here, not to be confused with imposters, are sworn to protect the Merovingian blood, that is, the blood of the true royals such as Lady Diana. Before too long, Project Bluebeam holographic imaging will be used to create miraculous appearances of Lady Diana. Children at various locations will be randomly selected to witness her saintly apparitions. These children will receive a message from Diana. Some of the children will claim that Diana has given them healing powers. And what's more, these children will be able to heal. Locations of these miraculous appearances will become known as places of healing and sacred shrines. Saint Diana's two children, William and Harry, will become akin to two living Jesus Christs walking the earth. It will be the start of a new religion. Who controls a new religion controls the world.
I'm not making the joke.
I don't even know where to
I think
start.
there was a non-sequitur there somewhere.
A few.
So, any questions? Didn't think so. That's as clear as it gets.
Yeah, this is probably everything you can possibly want from a conspiracy theory. It's just so batshit. I love it. But there's a great...
So I just have to make note, when we were talking about this subject, McElroy says, "Oh yeah, there was a really good Skeptoid episode about this recently. Maybe I'll touch on that." No, he went well beyond.
Well beyond. That was
well beyond.
Yeah. Although, yeah, Brian Dunning's Skeptoid podcast, he recently did an episode about the normal mainstream conspiracies about Diana. Basically that...
Yeah, the actual conspiracies that make some sense.
Yeah, that apparently some faction within MI6 or something had her killed so she wouldn't be marrying into the Saudi family or something like that. But for a really good...
he went on down to Crazy Town for research.
Yes. So
really
there's
Welcome to Looneyville, Eric.
I've heard that Princess Diana was supposed to be the Antichrist.
I haven't heard
I thought
that.
Obama was the Antichrist.
Everyone is the Antichrist at one point in their lives.
Can I be the Antichrist?
Aw.
John, you already are the Antichrist.
Also, Hitler
Rule
was
you,
the
all of you. I
Antichrist.
rule you all.
You won't rule me because I'm the Antichrist.
I would love that.
Oh man, well, that was a short-lived reign, wasn't it?
Everyone gets their 5 seconds.
Appointed and deposed just that quickly.
Yeah. So,
So,
if you want to go into some in-depth analysis of this conspiracy theory, which I guess the person who originally posted this online, they posted it in kind of an ad hoc literary journal. I can't remember which college it was at. Let's see, it is at Temple University. They have a little online literary journal that they posted in, called New Directions in Folklore. And back in January 1998, Tyrone Yarbrough wrote this big, like 7 or 8 page long, or web pages, I don't know how long it would be printed, but a very long analysis of this story and its origins. And he went into a great analysis of how it hits on all the key points of conspiracy theories, how there's this dark, secretive organization running things behind the scenes and orchestrating world events and things like that. It's really a fascinating read, and I suggest if you want to see a serious take on this ridiculous theory, go check that out. And we're going to have a link in the show notes.
Also, it pretty much has every conspiracy theory ever in it.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I get a kick out of that.
Moving on from that, I guess. So, Mike Bowler,
Oh yeah.
I hear you have word on a story about Paul being dead. The Beatles.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Actually, I did a story about Paul McCartney, the various iterations of his demise in either 1966 or 1967.
How many times has he died?
I think 3 times.
Oh, nice. Take that, Jesus.
Yeah. And no, the basic idea is, or the concept here is that in 1966, Paul McCartney was in a car accident after a late night recording session, and a double had been. McCartney died in the accident, and a body double was brought in. Again, MI6. That seems to be a common, one of those common denominators. An MI6 agent, fearing that all the girls in Britain would commit suicide if Paul McCartney had died, decided to create this body double. And throughout of course, all the band members bought into it except for John Lennon, who was also the main songwriter. So in his lyrics, he would try to insert clues that Paul McCartney was dead. And this came out of Actually, the legend started in October of '69. A caller to radio station WKNR-FM told disc jockey Russ Gibb about the rumors and its clues. Gibb and other callers then discussed the rumor on air for the next hour. 2 days after the WKNR broadcast, the Michigan Daily published a satirical review of Abbey Road by University of Michigan student Fred Labor under the headline, "McCartney's Dead, New Evidence Brought to Life." It identified various clues to McCartney's death on Beatles album covers, including new clues from the just-released Abbey Road LP. As Labor had invented many of the clues, he was astonished when the story was picked up by newspapers across the United States. There was also a kind of an underground university papers putting out similar seeking out clues, and there's hundreds of these things. Actually, I pulled the photos from Wikipedia. There's the Abbey Road cover where you got you got John Lennon, Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney, and I believe then Harrison crossing Abbey Road. All of them walking in the same direction, but Paul McCartney has no shoes on, which is supposed to be a symbol that he's dead. That in England they don't put shoes on the corpse before they put him in the ground.
I'm currently not wearing shoes. I must be dead.
Yeah, there's supposed to be. You can't really see it in the photo, but there's supposed to be a clue in the Volkswagen right behind Harrison. There's also some geometry. Again, a lot of made up stuff.
I love how they're always leaving these really obscure clues that only the people who really understand it can notice.
Right.
And why would you leave clues at all?
Well, apparently,
Yeah.
according to there's a documentary. Apparently, Harrison had released a bunch of cassette tapes explaining all this, and that there's that McCartney was dead. Of course, this documentary is really bad. You don't know where the tapes came from. There's no one's ever been able to produce the tapes. It's just this guy is he's got stuff. He puts on stuff that sounds like a recording, but you don't.
He basically just says, "Trust me, these are real."
Right. And of course, Harrison was very, of course, according to him, Harrison was very, wanting to come clean thing or whatever. John Lennon was very, but of course, most of it is John Lennon inserting these clues in the lyrics. There's actually, I wonder if we could play. I got the WAV file up on the Google Drive it's called Cranberry Sauce. .wave. I wonder if I can play that.
Well, we can certainly insert it into the show when we edit.
Right, but this is at the end of. It's on the. It's the end of. What's the song?
The Cranberry
Strawberry Hills.
Sauce Forever.
Yeah, Strawberry Hills, and at the end there's all this weird sounds going on, and you could barely hear John Lennon say cranberries, he says, "I buried Paul." It's really faint. It's not even backwards. It's like a forward, and everyone, again, the audio pareidolia, it kind of sounds like "I buried Paul." In an interview with Lennon afterwards, he said that he said cranberry sauce, and but of course.
But of course, he was lying.
Of course, he's lying. Yeah, because but it's interesting that there was I think there's 3. I know 2 was car accidents. I don't know about the third one, but I don't remember. I since I did the show, there might be a third car accident. But see, the thing was, the first accident was McCartney actually in a car accident. He was incapacitated for a few months. I forget what he broke legs, stuff like that. The second one, or the second two, were like a year later. But it was Paul McCartney's car, but someone else driving it, and of course they people at the party afterwards said that this was a guy going to pick up paraphernalia for the party, some smoking paraphernalia. So it was, the guy, it was. There was nothing really. I mean, the reality was there was no second or third accident. The first accident was real, but McCartney recovered. He had an injury on his face, so that's why he wore a beard. There's things like that. I mean, some more of the reality stuff, but of course, like I said, there's all these different clues in Sergeant Pepper's. The whole album is full of clues about things like if you draw lines between certain characters on it and you link it to you draw a pen. I think there was a pentagram, and it points to a thing. The bottom of a point points to a burned up car. Okay, yeah, so he died in a car. They're making all these weird connections. The best I can tell on this one is there's nothing to this story. It's all pareidolia, trying to fit fit things to a narrative. Like Paul McCartney's dead, so we need to find. Let's find these clues. I remember
jam the puzzle pieces together.
Right. I remember when I first heard about this was on Chicago radio in the 80s. There was I forget which college it was, Northwestern, I think. They had a newspaper, the North Star, in '69 put out a list of these stories. Things like what was it? I think that caught me was that the walrus is the symbol of death in Norway or something like that.
What?
It's like when Paul McCartney says I am the walrus, I'm dead, type of it's all
That's
that
a bit of a leap.
It's a very big leap. So.
It seems like the sort of thing that somebody would come out before they had access to the internet and quick reference to verifying these things.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, this was all back in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. And, of course, with the internet now, there was actually... I came across a site where even claiming that the Beatles didn't really exist, they were all... they found all these lookalikes, and they sent them all over Europe to play these clubs. The Beatles were really big in Germany, so they would be flying between Liverpool and I don't know if Munich, whatever. I think that was the big spot, Munich. I forget where the other places were, and doing these shows, and they'd be doing a show one night in England, and then the next night they'd be doing one in Germany. And it was like it was not physically possible for them to be in these two places. I'm like, dude, I'm looking at this. I'm going, dude, jet airplanes that have been in existence for a while. You could be anywhere in Europe, I think, within a few hours. It'd be like flying from, a flight from New York to Chicago is, a 2 or 3 hour flight.
Europe is really small compared to the United States.
Yeah. So, you could be in London one day, that night you could be in a bar in Berlin, it's like, boom. So, it's just this funny, they're trying to, and they use they take these photos. I love this one site where, they got photos of them in England, and they got the photos of them in Germany. And just because they're, and it's like they're looking they're saying, see, they look different. Well, you got the right profile on this photo, you got the left profile on the other photo. Yeah, that's going to look different, but they're the same fucking guys. Get a clue, people.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
makes no sense that the Beatles wouldn't exist either way. They might have like lookalikes that would do the gigs. They couldn't, but yeah, they would still exist. There would be a band that was behind the music, I suppose.
Right.
That's just what they want you to think, man.
Right. But like with any of the crazy celebrity stories, I mean, I'll save it for a closing statement. But it's just, I don't know why you have to. Why do you have to believe that he's dead? Why can't you just say, screw it? I dig the music.
Yep. So what do we have next? Anyone?
Everyone's muted, so I don't know.
I'm sitting here talking with mute on. Isn't that lovely?
Well done, John.
Nice work.
We're professionals.
You can't read my lips? God. So should we
This
talk
might
about
be a good time to remind everybody, send your hate mail, feedback, death threats to feedback at Irreverent Skeptics.
Please do. Please do.
I made some stereotyped comments about Brits and their drunk driving, so please, all of you blokes, send us some mail.
All 1.5 of you listening to us.
Oh, I love England, but they do have a thing about drinking and driving as far as, yeah, it's fine, what's the deal? I don't see the problem.
Should we hit up the popular culture Beatles references, or just do hodgepodge of other conspiracies?
Hodgepodge. I'm already over the
Okay.
Beatles. It's so stupid.
Podgety.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read just a little blurb about some of these, and then, I don't know, I'll just throw it to somebody to give me some kind of reaction. How's that?
Sure.
All right.
That's crazy.
That is just nuts. All right, so let's see here. Let's start with Bruce Lee. So this blurb says the exact details of Bruce Lee's untimely death are a subject of controversy. The actor was in Hong Kong to discuss a film with former James Bond star George Lazenby. He met with producer Raymond Chow and later drove together to his colleague Betty Ting's house. A little later, after Chow left, Lee complained of a headache and Ting gave him a painkiller. Equagesic? I don't know, is that the name of it? Oh, yeah, which contains both aspirin and a muscle relaxer. Lee then went to lie down for a nap, but he never woke up. He was 32 years old. Although there were no signs of injury, Lee's brain had swollen considerably, though Lee's death was ruled as death by misadventure. What? His untimely demise had many theories about his death, including murder involving the Triad Society and a supposed curse on him and his family. What was bizarre was that Lee's son, Brandon Lee, was also an actor, died 20 years later after his father in a freak accident while filming The Crow, and of course there was controversy around that.
Didn't he get shot by
With a blank.
By a real bullet that was supposed to be a
blank.
blank.
Too close. Or he
So
was too
the,
close to
the
the
Bruce
gun
Lee-
blank.
The Bruce
I think
Lee
it was a blank,
conspiracy.
though.
Yeah. Well, no, not Bruce Lee. That was Brandon Lee.
Brandon
Yeah,
Lee, yeah.
Mixed
was
Hey,
up
no matter
stories.
how I
Gun.
die, I want you to
Mixing
say
up
that I
stories.
died through misadventure. Please, I want that on my...
Misadventure.
Please, died through misadventure.
Your
Okay,
life,
so
your life story
Bruce-
will be the
Bruce Lee
Adventures
was-
of Brandy Madison.
Yeah, Keith Moon died of misadventure.
I want to die of misadventure.
Bruce
Reckless
Lee was
abandon.
definitely killed by the ninjas
I want
around.
to die of too much adventure.
China.
A ninja curse.
Just read
Yeah.
into that what you will.
Mhm.
He released the secret moves and information in his films, so they decided to.
He had the
Take him out.
5-point exploding palm technique.
I was going to say he
5-point
had
palm
that...
exploding heart technique.
Yeah, there you go. How do you say that so fast?
I thought he had the death punchies.
So Uma Thurman is next.
Oh, no. Please, no. I love her.
Is death by misadventure just a way of saying death by accident?
Sounds like it.
I don't know. I have no
That is
idea.
more awesome.
Didn't David
Dangerous.
Carradine die not long after that movie came out? Of course, he was trying to get himself off, I think.
I don't know who that was. Oh, he's the guy, the autoerotic...
He was trying to get himself off.
David Carradine died June 3rd, 2009.
That's right.
72-year-old star of Kung Fu TV series and Kill Bill films was found dead on June 4th, 2009 in his room at the Swiss Hotel Nail Swiss Hotel Nail Lair Park Hotel in Bangkok, Thailand. Police reported that he had been found hanging in a wardrobe. I don't know.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Other more lurid reports suggested he had died after some kind of sadomasochistic incident. A pathologist stated that autoerotic asphyxiation was the most likely cause of death, and a police chief said that CCTV footage of the hotel showed that nobody else had been involved. The day after his death, Carradine's family's lawyer dismissed the idea that the actor had committed suicide, suggested that he could have been murdered by a gang of kung fu assassins after it was revealed he was planning to uncover groups in the martial arts underworld. Dumbass.
Because that's a thing.
That's preferable to being
Again, I
masturbating
differ
in a
to
dangerous
you, yes.
way.
You guys are killing my throwing it to people here.
Oh, sorry.
All right, dumbass, tell us all about it. I've listened to Amateur Skeptics.
Okay.
You guys talk about all kinds of shit about sex. So tell us about the auto asphyxiation.
Bicycle seats and dildos. Oh my god.
Okay, here's what happened. There were ninjas involved. They came in. They were involved in the autoerotic asphyxiation. It was him, a bunch of ninjas. They were trying to asphyxiate each other.
And it's not auto, but yeah, I gotcha.
Well, no, but what he's saying is the ninjas could escape and nobody would ever know they had been there. Exactly. So
it was an
he must have
overenthusiastic
done it to
circle
himself, people would say.
Okay, they were all trying to do autoerotic asphyxiation together.
Oh.
The ninjas got off, but he...
Parallel play. I see. Parallel play.
He went too far. He went too far, and everybody else just snuck off.
They're like, "Whoa, David, slow
They
it down,
came on
buddy."
his face and then they left. Yeah.
Okay, and next, Anna
They
Nicole.
came, they saw, they conquered.
There you go. The ninja is known as Vini Vidi Vici or whatever. Yeah.
You guys missed my joke there, didn't you?
I'm sorry. What?
You tell jokes?
The next one, Anna Nicole Top Heavy Smith. Ching.
She's dead.
Yeah, anyway, so the model and actress whose birth name was Vicki Lynn Marshall was found dead at 39 from an overdose of prescription drugs in a hotel in Florida on February 8th, 2007.
Ninjas were also involved with that one.
Yes, an official investigation concluded that a cocktail of drugs had killed her. Within days of Nicole Smith's death, the web was alive with speculation over the striking similarity with the death of her son, Daniel, who had been killed a few months earlier from a cocktail of drugs. So, drugs and death. Erno, go.
Like mother, like son.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs bad.
Gee, it's so surprising that her
Cocktails of drugs.
died of a cocktail of drugs that she left lying around because she was a drug addict, and then she died of a cocktail of drugs that she left lying around because she's a drug addict.
So what you're saying is drug addicts die of drugs?
I know, it's
Often.
the weirdest thing, huh?
Does not compute.
Yeah,
All
no,
right,
it
so
doesn't
next.
make any sense.
Michael Jackson died June 25th, 2009. Just hours after Jackson's death for the first conspiracy theories to start circulating. The most popular is that the singer faked his death in order to escape the media spotlight and impending bankruptcy. Brandy.
That's the fact. So, that's definitely a thing that happened because he was, working on a new album. He was going on, all the things you do before you decide, fuck it, I'm going to die. He also had young children that he seemingly loved and was very much involved with. And then also, he just had a full life. I just cannot imagine he was going to off himself. Now, he also was into the self-destruction as far as propofol and things like that. So, being that that's sort of an anesthetic and not really meant for home use, it's not really meant to take like NyQuil as needed. It is not surprising that he actually died from having the all-you-can-stand propofol habit. That's
Okay,
much more
but
likely.
how do the ninjas
This time
fit
the
into this
butler
one?
did it.
How did the
hired
ninjas
ninjas
fit
to
in?
build a
I don't know. I don't know. He had that big amusement park, and so I don't know how the ninjas fit in with that. I have no clue.
No, we
The
should ask you,
amusement park was
dumbass. This is
Ninja
the
World.
ninja expert here. How did the ninja fit in?
Yeah, tell me. I want to know.
There's the ninja ride. Come on.
You're right.
Ninja
The
stars.
ninjas operated the amusement park for him.
Isn't Batman basically a
Ninjas got into
ninja?
drugs.
All right, our next one. Tom Cruise's love interests are under contract.
What?
Apparently everyone knows this about everyone knows about this. So.
Mom, Dad,
He's
Tom Cruise
rumored
won't come out of the closet.
He's rumored to audition as potential girlfriends in a weird Scientology wife quest kind of way. Take it away, McElroy.
I'm not gay. I'm Tom Cruise. I'm a movie star. Mom, Tom Cruise won't come out of the closet.
And John Travolta's now in there too.
Oh my God, Tom.
All right.
All I gotta say is South Park, Trapped in the Closet. Watch the episode. It's
Wonderful.
Oh my God, it's excellent. Which we did. I think we referenced that in our Scientology episode.
Indeed.
Which we have no assets, so if we get sued,
so the next one, when I first read this, well, I'll read it the way it went in my head. Pippa Middleton wore a fake butt to her sister's wedding.
Oh
Who
my
the fuck
God.
is Pippa Middleton?
That's
That was at first.
Wait, how's that a conspiracy?
Hang on. Then I read the rest of this. After 3 years of devoted study, some royal expert, and I was like, oh, Kate Middleton, gotcha. But at first I was like, who the fuck is Pippa Middleton?
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's like the J-Lo, how they're obsessed with their ass. Yeah.
So fake butt worn to her sister's wedding. I'm going to take this one. Actually, what happened was she had her cycling shorts on underneath her dress, and people were like, "Is that a fake ass?" And she's like, "No, I'm just ready to hit a century ride after this is over." That's all that was. And
I like
the ninjas were not doing a good enough job
Absolutely.
of disguising her. I don't know how the ninjas got into that one.
The actual conspiracy is that Pippa Middleton doesn't have a butt, and she was hiding a massive quantity of drugs in her fake butt.
Not up her butt. She totally misunderstood the directions.
Yeah, it was basically just an empty cavity.
Didn't understand how it works.
And they put drugs in it.
For the ninjas.
Okay, so here's one. Now famous singer Lorde is secretly 45 or an ageless and wise elf or something. So this rumor was started by someone who was not capable of understanding how a cool teen can become so cool, having only existed for a teen amount of years. Yeah,
No.
so I'm not even going to address that. Whatever.
It's the ninjas. Just ninjas.
That's just.
How did the ninjas fit in with that?
I don't know
they're
I don't know where
probably-
this conspiracy was started, but someone was huffing something. That's all I'm saying.
The tiger's on a gold leash, that's probably a secret reference to the ninjas. That's probably their gang name or
Okay,
whatever.
an ageless and wise elf is bound to have ninjas. That's just common sense.
Yeah, it's science.
She commands an army of ninjas. There's just.
Now the quality of these kind of
Science
goes
ninjas.
downhill as we keep going. So here's the next one. Jennifer Lawrence faked her Oscars fall to stay on quote adorably clumsy brand. Take that one, dumbass. No, Mike Bowler. We haven't thrown one to you. Mike Bowler, do that.
Ninjas.
All right. Ooh, ninja
doesn't know how
caltrops were
Jennifer
thrown
Lawrence
onto the stairs. Or where I don't know where she tripped, but let's say it was on the stairs. So ninja caltrops thrown on the stairs right before she walked up there. She tripped over them. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Ebola.
In the store in the cough.
Here's one I've heard before. Michael Jackson was chemically castrated by acne medication.
That probably would have helped.
So this theory. I'm trying to think of the right way to condense this down. I don't know. I guess it's basically that the acne medication that he took as a teenager prevented him through, I guess, concluding puberty. I guess he hit puberty, but concluded the conclusion of puberty couldn't happen, so he was chemically castrated. It's kind of strange. I've never heard anything like this anywhere except this particular theory.
That is one weird side effect to have on a drug for acne.
For your skin. No, I remember it was called coxaflopin. I remember it totally messes with your wiener. Yeah. I do not recommend that.
Invented by ninjas.
Coxaflop.
I'd like to say thank you, Adam from the Herd Mentality. He said that I laughed so hard. Coxaflopin. That's funny. That's a side effect.
Okay. So here's one.
Thank you, questionable Adam.
Beyonce was never pregnant.
What?
Apparently, I guess.
In fact, she's not even a woman.
There you go.
She's an eggplant. Ninja.
He's a ninja.
She's actually a pygmy. I thought of her as like 6 feet tall, and I googled it one day. I was arguing with a coworker. She's my height. She's like 5'3", 5'4". I'm like, what? The way they photograph her, actually, she's a pygmy. Like me. Midget.
So here's one. Tupac, Jim Morrison, and Elvis are all still alive.
What about
Why- so here-
Biggie? Is he still alive?
That's what I said
Please,
earlier.
please, yes, please.
Here's my thought on that. How come...
Don't you remember in the first Men in Black? They all went home.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
To
They're
Ninja
not
Land?
dead.
I guess there's that.
There's Suge Knight and
Ninja
there's
Planet.
ninjas. Sure.
Okay, here's one. Baby Suri is an alien, or Ethan from Lost is her dad. Question, who the fuck is Baby Suri?
It's Tom Cruise's baby with
Tom
Katie
Cruise is-
Holmes.
yeah.
And she's gorgeous. She's so cute. She looks like both of them. That's ridiculous.
All right.
Artificial insemination.
Another one. The CIA murdered Marilyn Monroe. Whatever.
That could be. Who cares? Yeah. Before my time.
There was the Kennedy connection.
Mm-hmm. There
Tangentially.
definitely was government.
Tangentially, Marilyn Manson is the offspring of Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson.
Oh, that makes
Wow.
sense. That makes sense.
That makes perfect
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
Huh. Well, now we know.
I read
So
his book
McElroy.
accidentally.
McElroy, what do you think? Did the CIA poison Bob Marley?
Bob Marley? No.
With what, gangrene? How does that work?
Bob Marley died of cancer because he was using marijuana to heal himself, and he didn't have the magical marijuana that heals everything, which you always hear about on Reddit all the time.
Well,
Yeah, the magic weed. I
yeah,
imagine
but-
if there is
but
magic
they
weed, he'd have
replaced
had
his boots with cancerous boots. Is how this conspiracy
Invented by
goes.
ninjas.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
well,
aware
this
that
is the thing.
boots
They
could
use
be fucking
CIA. They
cancerous.
use CIA Spec Ops ninjas to replace the boots with cancer boots, and he put on the cancer boots, and he went and did his concert and played his soccer, and next thing you
Ninja,
know,
please.
cancer dead. Ninja, please.
Ninja, please. That's our word. Hey,
Oh, ninja say what?
that's not cool.
Aren't we starting to be the dead ninja?
Keanu
not
Reeves
Never
is
seen
immortal. I believe this one.
What?
Keanu Reeves is immortal.
This
I
one's
believe
true.
this. Moving on.
And Patrick
Okay.
Stewart.
Um,
As pointed out, I think it was on Colbert Report not long ago, Patrick Stewart looked the same during The Next Generation that he looks now. And it was like
Did you
20
absolutely.
20-something
He
years
does
ago.
not age.
Did you
Mhm.
see the Colbert where Patrick Stewart was reading? He was he was reading as if he's just some American Joe citizen.
Yes.
No, I didn't
awesome.
see it.
In like a
They'll have to
straw
post
hat
it.
and overalls and
Oh.
a plaid shirt.
Oh, that's funny. I'd like to see him in American Gothic, like holding the pitchfork. That'd be awesome. He's great.
So here's one. Britney Spears' meltdown was a Bush administration doing. So
Probably,
according to
yeah.
this theory, Britney Spears' public meltdown was orchestrated by the Bush administration in order to distract from its myriad
Distract.
problems overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I buy. That's the closest to reality of all of these. Like so far, like that makes sense. Go ahead.
I just imagine so someone in the Bush administration turned on TV and is like, what's everyone talking about Britney Spears for? Never mind, everyone's talking about Britney. Thank God for that.
That's kind of a wag the dog kind of thing. Yeah.
Let's see. Here's what I'm gonna put these two together. One, that Miley Cyrus is a puppet of the Obama administration, and also that Miley Cyrus died in 2010, and now there's a replacement Miley.
Who is also a ninja.
Tell us all about that, or no? Go for it.
What? So
No.
Miley Cyrus is a puppet of Obama?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
sits on his
right.
lap and he
And
drinks
Also,
water.
she died, and she's been replaced with a replacement Miley.
Family Guy
Why?
laid it all out for us. Miley Cyrus is a robot made by Disney to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, remember that?
yeah, yeah.
That was legit.
So Disney would be in league with the Obama administration.
And also,
Well,
who else works for
why
Disney?
not?
Used to work for Disney. Britney Spears, also Justin Timberlake. That's not a
Walt
coincidence.
Disney. That's not a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
There we
He's
go.
frozen
They even
somewhere.
gave us clues about, she leads a double life.
Yeah, that's right. Her whole show, that by Hannah Montana, was about her having a double life as a pop star and as a regular Joe.
And it was made by Disney. We have uncovered this thing.
Checkmate.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
So here's a good one for all you David Icke fans. Justin Bieber is a reptoid.
Yes.
He was being arraigned, and there is apparently, I guess, some video of something that looks like his eyes
Being
just
a giant douchebag? Yes.
Yeah, yeah. There's that. So something like that. Yeah.
Driving too fast, dick with a fancy car. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I like the meme. I like the meme where the same year when or the same time Kurt Cobain died, Justin Bieber was born. It's like
I'm
the
not
saddest
hurt.
day in her.
I hope Kurt Cobain's still alive like Elvis. Oh, please. I would love that.
Yeah, they're living in the south of France with Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin.
Well, I hear that Kurt Cobain actually is still alive. They just have him frozen somewhere until they can come up with a cure for shotgun to the face.
For shotgun to the face and heroin.
Yeah,
Tons of
that's
it,
a pretty bad disease. I kind of would like Justin Bieber to be
A reptile.
a reptile, yeah.
He
Because
is.
that would
He
make
actually
him
is.
a different species than me. And
Yeah,
would
I
be
agree.
glad.
Baby, baby, baby.
Oh, please. Oh, what did I ever
So
do?
let's.
Mute him, John. Help.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to our what's for the week.
What?
That was all what?
Yeah,
So what
pretty much
episode?
all of these have been what's. Yeah, but our first one, oh god, PETA's new autism awareness campaign. So PETA put out this this ad that it's got a picture of a bowl of cereal. It's some Cheerios or Cheerio-like things and a unhappy face. It made it look like an unhappy face and says next to it, "Got autism? Studies have shown a link between cow's milk and autism. Find out more at PETA.org." Right? So.
Fuck you, PETA.
Here's the nice thing about this. This particular ad doesn't claim anything, but it very strongly implies that the ingestion of dairy products can lead to autism. Yeah. Thanks for making all of us vegetarians look bad, you assholes.
Yeah, what's wrong
Also,
with
if you care
that
so much about
guy?
animals, stop fucking killing them by the millions every year. I'm just saying. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about this.
Fuck you, PETA. That's basically it.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually,
this
Brandy
thing is-
posted a thing about that on Twitter, and I actually responded, and PETA responded to me about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't read it. What'd they say? I didn't read it yet.
Oh, they sent me a link to their site about it, and I looked at it and like, oh gee, they've got a study here about that involved 20 individuals or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically, I think their claim is that taking milk out of the diet of an autistic person would help them.
Which is not the same as saying it causes autism.
Yeah,
They
there are
didn't
some.
actually say that it causes
Or
autism;
implied.
it just kind of implied.
That's the thing is that what it was
They
pointing
sent me
to
a
was
link
that
that to you here.
apparently it was pointing to this idea that some autistic children have dairy or lactose intolerance, but some kids have
Listen.
dairy or lactose.
Yeah, you know what?
So if you are lactose intolerant and you don't drink milk, good move.
Did you know that
Because-
100% of all people with autism have drank water?
Oh, that's not a
What?
coincidence.
Oh my
No.
What?
That's
Oh,
I think the problem is the carbon base. That's what's going on. Like what? They
Studies-
all are carbon-based beings as well.
Studies have shown a link between being human and having autism.
Mm-hmm.
studies have shown a link between being human and high mortality rates.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. In a long enough
Checkmate,
timeline,
nature.
survival rate drops to 0, right? Thank
So
you,
this is what I'm
Chuck
going to say
Palahniuk.
about PETA. I think PETA should stick to the naked girls wearing lettuce leaves, holding signs, and the ad campaigns that are clever, like the "knock the bottom out of it" campaign. Like you should stick to those, and not this implied scary bullshit campaign you have going.
Or the hot
And didn't he
celebrities
win
that
the Hunger Games twice? PETA,
They would
that
be-
is?
they'd be naked and I'd rather be naked. Rather be
Wow.
naked than wear fur or whatever. That was a hot campaign. It was like all these beautiful women posing nude. Rather be nude than wear fur. Please, by all means, that's reasonable. Also, naked hot celebrities.
So our
Or
next.
what is it? Vegetarians taste better. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Vegetarians
That's
taste
all I
better. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, that was a good campaign.
Anyway, our next what? Fundamentalist Christian college accused of using students for slave labor. What?
Yes. This is a
McElroy, tell us about
fantastic story. Fantastic story. So, the president of an unaccredited fundamentalist Christian college is being held on $250,000 bond on charges of exploiting international students and using them for slave labor. Reginald Wayne Miller, a douchebag name if I've ever heard one, the president and founder of Cathedral Bible College, brought in international students under the guise of training them to be pastors and missionaries. According to prosecutors for the Homeland Security and according to several of the students, he used them to do under and unpaid work around the campus and his house sometimes
nice.
up to 50 hours a week, with pay ranging from $0 to $50 for the whole week. If they complained, he threatened to revoke their student visas and have them deported. Dr. quote-unquote Miller received his doctorate from Indiana Christian University, which is another unaccredited Christian college. His other higher degrees were given by his own unaccredited college. And additionally, all of the staff and faculty at the college he got his degree from also received their degrees from the college that they now work at. And only one of them only has an associate's degree. The only teacher at the college who has a master's degree, at least when their website was put together, also went to another unaccredited fundamentalist Christian school, Bob Jones University. So we have a nice little network of unaccredited schools giving degrees to people to go start their own unaccredited Christian schools, and then this shit happens. The best
we can go to
part
Bob
of this
Jones,
story.
me and you, Mike, and hang out, because they don't allow interracial dating, so we ought to go there and hold hands and watch the fundies fucking bust the brains open. Like, oh, they would flip their shit.
They have to
like,
cut me in half.
No interracial people. You're black enough, trust me. You are black enough. Trust me.
The best part of this whole story is in 2006, the Horry County Police Department charged this guy with lewdness and prostitution after he exposed himself to an undercover cop in a bathhouse at Myrtle Beach State Park.
Oh my god. A male cop, I bet you.
Oh yeah, it's a bathhouse. It's almost certainly like a gay.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
athletic club, as they call it.
If only he had some kind of biblical justification for this bullshit, right?
Well, John.
Oh wait, I bet he does.
Leviticus chapter 25, verses 44 and 45.
Go
Your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the temporary residents living among you and members of their clans born in your country, and they will become your property. So you can buy foreigners and temporary residents.
And you can give them to your kids as inheritance, their property.
Yes.
Wait, did he actually use that as justification?
No, but he didn't need to. It was in there. That's all he needed.
It's there. Yeah, and you can entrap the male slave by letting him get married and have kids, and then when it's time for him to be freed, he can't leave with his wife and kids, and so he gets a voluntary slave status. Yeah.
Yeah, because his wife and kids remain your property, and he either gets to stay with them or go away alone. And if he stays with them, he'll stay a slave. And that was actually, I think, even the Jewish slaves, you can keep them forever that way.
Oh, the Jews.
Talk about living up to the biblical principles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that part is specifically to the Jews. I'm pretty sure that you can get from heathens around you. You can get your slaves. And he was talking to Jewish tribes.
Because normally you can only keep a Jewish slave for 6 years, and then you have to release them in the 7th. But I think the thing that you mentioned, if you give him a wife and children, then he has. Yeah. That's also for Jewish slaves. It's a way to get them for life.
Yep.
And circumvent.
And if you want, you can drive a stake through his ear while you're at it, or beat him as long as he doesn't die within a few days. It's all good. Again, God is love, folks. God is love.
He's an ear vampire, basically.
So, students at Utah school upset to discover yearbook photos were altered before publication.
This story is fantastic.
Lighter?
Yeah,
so,
I just want to go. I'm going to go on record first as just saying before you talk about this, I'm aware of this story, and I just want to say, who the hell cares? Now go ahead.
Well, the female students at a Utah high school want to know why their yearbook photos were altered to show less skin without them knowing about it. Now, for folks who are living outside the U.S., I don't know if you know this, Erno, who is now not at his chair as I'm talking to him, the Mormons are in huge numbers in Utah. They basically own the state. They run everything there. And they are a very conservative sect who have a focus on women being modestly dressed. So that's probably where this is coming from. But anyway, the students who were surprised to find their photos altered attended Wasatch High School, and some of them said they also feel upset because it appears the decisions whether to alter the photos or not weren't made consistently. In one case, two different girls wearing nearly identical tops ended up with one of them altered to add sleeves while the other wasn't. At least 24 girls had their photos altered, and the students who spoke with the news station this story comes from were not aware of any male students that had their photos altered. But the school is sticking by their decision. They said that the students knew the dress code and that there was a sign warning them that their pictures may be edited. However, the county superintendent admits that the school wasn't being consistent and didn't apply the rules the same way to every student. He's quoted as saying, "We only apologize in the sense that we want to be more consistent with what we're trying to do. In that sense, we can help kids better prepare for their future by knowing how to dress appropriately for things. Well, thank you for telling kids that the only way to dress appropriately is to not dress the way that they want to.
It's called a burqa,
Yes.
actually. Just institute the burqa.
Apparently, having a halter top. Yeah.
Or an evening gown
If
or
you look at some of
anything.
the pictures here, these aren't even.
Mm-mm. They're not racy, I'm sure.
They're really not being exposed to.
No, because they're Mormons, probably.
No, I mean you see a girl who's wearing a top that like there's no cleavage showing or anything. It's shoulders. As J.T. Eberhard in his post about this, he titled his post, let's see here, Yearbook Pics at Utah High School edited to add more clothing because shoulders are evil. That's basically all they did was cover up shoulders, and it's so weird.
Well, if you
Is that part of the dress code? They're not allowed to bare their shoulders?
I don't. None of these news stories that I found have said what the dress code actually is.
I'm so sure.
Yeah, they did
If
some.
that's not part of their dress code, I mean, and if it is part of their dress code, then the girl should have
Definitely
been
by
turned away.
culture. I don't know, de jure, de facto.
I think.
Yeah,
I think
a
Brandy is about
YouTube
15
show
seconds lagging behind.
showed some of the photos on the that they had manipulated, and it was.
So you can see their magic underwear, or if they wear something strapless.
Yeah. So
well, at least they didn't edit these for like
hid like tattoos and such, and also put in some sleeves, and made the people more tan. I suppose that's out of courtosy.
Have you guys ever seen the Mormon porn? The Mormon, what do they call it? The Mormon dot porn? That's what it is.
Yes. Oh, that's so weird.
It's so awesome.
They block out all the body parts of. It's usually people who aren't even naked, but they just take pictures and they overlap.
You just block out the parts where they would be naked, so you can imagine that they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. This one.
Black people.
Family research.
To be black, like that.
Yes.
Terrible.
Yes. Yep. They said that your skin will become white and delightsome if you become a better Mormon.
So our next one. This is terrible. Family Research Council
Behave
spokesman
yourself. Behave yourself, Miguel. We're almost there.
Okay. Let's try this one more time. Family Research Council spokesman links Isla Vista shooting spree to gay marriage. Ugh.
Yeah.
Because why not?
What?
Yeah, so this is the story of the young man Elliot Rogers who went on a shooting spree, or a killing spree. The Family Research Council senior fellow Ken Blackwell linked the Isla Vista mass killings to marriage equality laws, which he claimed are destroying the culture. Speaking with the President Tony Perkins on Washington Watch, which is one of their shows, Blackwell blamed the shooting on the, quote, crumbling of the moral foundation of the country and the attack on natural marriage and the family. He said, when these fundamental institutions are attacked and destroyed and weakened and abandoned, you get what we are now seeing. He argued that people who are blaming the Second Amendment are avoiding talking about what is at the root cause of the problem. Yeah.
Not enough Jesus.
It's definitely the dissolution of the American family that was to blame for this. Because when I looked at his 141 fucking page manifesto, that's definitely what he's talking about, and not the fact that he was a perfect, glorious gentleman who was being denied sex by all these beautiful women.
Who he wasn't approaching, which he even admitted, like,
He never
were to I approach one of them, they would just shoot me down. Like,
yeah, and when he talked about what his final solution would be, he was definitely talking about how everybody needs to be gay married, and not about how women needed to be hidden away from society and sex would be eliminated because women are bestial creatures who need to be destroyed.
Well, you know, it's kind
Maybe
of
he
refreshing.
should have bought a hooker instead of shooting at people.
It's kind of refreshing because like this is he's actually got something that kind of makes a little bit of sense in that if people's moralities, if the morality of the country is crumbling, then people would be more likely to do immoral things like this. Usually when somebody like that blames the gay marriage or something, they're saying because it's God's wrath that's removed God's protection from the country, and so this is a supernaturally dictated thing.
Well, you'd think that, but I remember back during Hurricane Katrina, I guess the French Quarter was supposed to be the place that hosted some big gay pride festival or something, and it ended up being one of the few sections of the city that was spared any real damage.
Yeah, the gays have a protective quality with them, for sure.
The magical gay shield, the rainbow shield.
That's why San Francisco never has hurricanes. See, that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence.
Well, wasn't it the God's sign that he wouldn't flood the world again?
Yes, that's why they're protected.
That's right, rainbows. That's right.
I will stretch my bow across the sky.
Oh my God, God is gay.
Well, I've also heard I guess, what is it? Movies that portray this misogynist view that every guy is entitled to like the hot chick. This is part of the problem that caused this whole thing.
That is bullshit explanation. There was some woman who wrote an article about how Seth Rogen movies are to blame for this sort of thing because he's the frumpy, not super hot guy who has this sort of collegiate frat boy-ish lifestyle, and he ends up with hot women. And that unrealistic expectation that Hollywood creates is what leads to this sort of shit.
I'm going to say two things about that. One, first of all, it's fucking Hollywood, and two, you know what the frumpy guy in those movies does that a lot of people don't do? He doesn't short-circuit himself with, well, she would never pay attention to me. He says hi anyway. Like, oh, hey, how are you? Or he'll say something like,
so you're saying there's
something amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Ever fucking say hi? Like, anyway, like, so there's that.
Yeah,
my thought on this whole thing is
this
I've kept pretty quiet in most of the conversations that I've seen about it. Is just that, like, yeah, read a little bit of what the guy says, and also watch that stupid video I watched of him, and I'm like, oh, yeah, he has some
holy shit
problem. Like, I told Brandy, I was like, hey, this thing bothers me because he just seems so. What I thought was like he just seems so not
robotic,
disingenuous, and it's like, yeah, this doesn't. It's like would be terrible acting, and Brandy tells me, oh, yeah, that's what you get with Access 2 disorders. And tell us a little bit about that, Brandy. Just give us a little blurb, would you? For those of us who don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's just a category. It's just a DSM category. There are four or five axes which you have. One evaluates someone like that. And this category of Access 2 basically is a character defect, very severe and unfixable character defect. So you're looking at your narcissist, your borderline personality disorder, your sociopaths, these kinds of people. So that therapy will not help, medicine generally will not help, and it is part of their constitution, and basically other people suffer from the way that they are, and they don't so much suffer from the way that they are and seek treatment, but other people do, and that's how they end up in treatment. And it's not fixable, it's not pretty, and they can be quite dangerous. And this guy just smacks of Access 2. Just the way he's like, I'm the perfect guy, and all this other nonsense, the way he laughs. Oh, it's ridiculous. And he's got a shallow emotionality to him, what comes off as fake. It's not fake. He feels these things, but it's very shallow.
Yeah, he was extremely narcissistic. He had this idea that he was the center of everyone's life stories, and that anybody who didn't give him sex was somehow slighting him instead of not knowing he existed, and that sort of thing. So he was
entitled to the hottest girls in the sorority. Like, you're a top-notch girl, you're entitled not only to a girl, but a top-notch girl. Like, that's entitlement right there.
He put some video on YouTube talking about how women were evil, and just all this weird stuff, and he ends the video by saying, maybe some girl watching this will reach out to me and want to date me. It's like, really?
What?
Yeah. He seriously thought that by putting this video about how he was always horribly mistreated by women, and how they didn't realize what a perfect man he was and what a nice guy he was, that somehow this would win him a date.
Strong suit.
Yeah, threatening to slaughter all of them. That one of them's gonna be like, ooh, that's hot. I want that.
Ladies, he's single.
But before he slaughters everybody, how about you just come say hi? How about that?
No kidding.
This is a guy who hates from a distance, I promise you.
All right. So lastly, I want to do a little callback to our Satanic Panic episode. It's an episode that an article that Mike Bowler shared with me from Virtue Online News.
Sounds like a credible source.
Yeah. Decline of religion in the West has created a rise in black magic, Satanism, and occultism. Yeah, that's right. Like this link actually.
You forgot the
link from the telegraph.co.uk. But anyway,
you missed the tagline of the website, John. It's Virtue Online, the voice for global Orthodox Anglicanism.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better than that, does it? So, Mike, you want to tell us a little bit about this? Yeah.
Well, we talked about it on the bitch spot, and well, first because we did the show last time about Satanism, and I actually got Stuart Robbins sent me a really neat MP3 of this one guy, and I'll be talking about it in my show, so I'm not going to go into details. But there's this whole idea about Satanism and all this stuff. But in this article, what struck me is this is something that I'm kind of interested in because as religion goes into its slide, it's slowly going away. People turning to different what do I want to say different beliefs, either turning to atheism or agnosticism. I'm kind of, it's kind of interesting that to me that people are turning to this quote Satanism, which is, I think it's more of a, it sounds more like my parents are devout Catholics, so I'll be a Satanist just to piss them off type attitudes. And in this article, it clearly, these guys always like to mix, that atheists are Satanists, that somehow, because you don't believe in God, you have to believe in something, and I'm like, dude, you're just not getting it. Dude, these people just don't get it. And I see where, this clip from Robbins, again, it's, and how would I explain this? It's like this guy believes that Lucifer is, they control the reptoids, the reptilian aliens, who are actually demons. And that the reptoids control the gray aliens, and the gray aliens do all the dirty work for the demons. They're the ones that steal sex parts, mutilate animals,
and control the ninjas.
And controls the ninjas, the big gardener snake, all that stuff. Who then manipulate the Freemasons and the Bilderbergs and the Council of Foreign Relations, who ultimately control the corporations and the universities and the political parties to turn us into sheeple, and we're supposed to get then 80%, the 80 or 90% we're supposed to get slaughtered off, and then we live in a feudal society. That's what these guys believe, and it was just it just blows my mind that how do you come up with this shit? I mean, these people, they do the, it just floors me. And when I read that article, it was like, and we talked about it. It's like, it's like these religions are trying to hold on to, because we did it also in the context that the Catholic Church is now trying to revive exorcism. There's actually they're training priests to perform exorcisms, and somehow this is relevant in this day and age. So it was just one of these the stupid getting stupider. That's the only thing I could think of.
Well, and there you have it.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it this week for the Irreverent Skeptics. Thank you all for joining us.
Hey, I like to one.
Shows.
Yeah. Hey, can I?
What was that?
I want to just throw one last thought on the celebrity conspiracies.
No thinking allowed.
Well, that, yeah. Between that, no, these conspiracies don't really surprise me, because we do have this connection to these people. These are the people we see on TV, the movie screens. We listen to them on the radio. We all have, we make these connections to these people, and when they, when they die, Jim Morrison died of a heart attack, but some people want to think that he's still alive, living in the south of France, partying with Janis Joplin and Elvis Presley. There was the big Elvis Presley, the Presley sightings. All these people seeing Elvis Presley at the car wash or the laundromat. A lot of people just we have it. This is actually I would say more the classic part of conspiracy where we don't. We find it hard that these people can be gone, and the fact of the matter is these guys like Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, all these artists live these lives that between the drugs and all that stuff, the culture, you find they live these, they burn the candle at both ends, and we're going to lose them because of their whatever demons that are chasing them, and like I said, and we like to think that that they live forever, and they do. They do live forever. Once even though they're dead or gone, their music, their writings, all their works, we could still see, and we'll be able to see 100 years from now. It's just what I always liked, and this is how I closed out my my Paul McCartney. We do have this connection, and that's why we have a hard time believing that anything bad could happen to these people. And I think that's just as a that's why we see it. That's why we're always going to have. Whoever's next on the list for celebrity wise. We just lost a couple, didn't we? A few weeks ago.
Maya Angelou.
I wouldn't be surprised some conspiracy pops up on that one. It would not surprise me a bit, because we have these personal connections to these people, writers, artists, and so on, and I think they won't go away. They're fun to look at, and but again, I think
Maya Angelou was killed by ninjas.
There we go. Let's start it. Let's start it right now.
And go. All right, so Mike, tell us what you got coming up next on your Skeptic's Guide to Conspiracy. I saw you just put an episode out. I didn't even see what it was about. I saw the email, but I hadn't.
The Illuminati and the New World Order. I'm going to do a series of those. Hopefully I got some sound clips I want to play in the next issue, so I got some really cool stuff. I love this. I love this way this guy went on about the reptiloids, the David Icke stuff, and how they control the gray. They're the reptile aliens controlling the gray aliens, and all. It's so amazing. It's so wonderful.
All right, dumbass. What you got coming up next on Amateur Skeptics?
Well, the Amateur Skeptics, the latest episode out, we got creepy purity ball pictures and learn how to improve your memory with porn.
Nice.
I've also got a new
Sounds like my kind of training.
Yeah. I've also finally got a new Dumbass's Guide to Knowledge episode out. You can find that at pod17.dumbassguide.info.
The 17th in a series of podcasts from Pod 17. No. Go for the pod, Al.
All right, well, thank you again, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
And remember, we won't be the dead ninja again. Just kidding, we will.